I should slow it down, but I can't just sit and wait around. I won't stop till I found. So here I am, still standing, still trying when the night feels long and the road's unwinding. All this time I was holding on and I didn't know how much I'd grown. Here I am, still chasing and fighting when the world feels cold, but my
Good evening. We are kicking off with pick and ban phase right now. Slowly waiting until everything comes through. This is our National Sweet 16 game where UAF, Alaska Esports, is playing Augusta University. Or Augusta University, apologize for that. So right now what we're seeing is UAF looking for an aggressive dive, but also side lane damage comp. See what they look to ban and save here. Groot. Interesting. Good ban for that to be able to go ahead and not allow Augusta to be able to close off those close areas and be able to get in a lot easier. See who they look to save. Alright, we're saving the wolf. Okay. Definitely committing to that all-in, also tank buster kind of look. Looks like Augusta saved Namor. Counter dive. Alright. As we get in here, going ahead and seeing map 1 against UAF versus Augusta University on Krakoa for domination. See how our starting lineup is right now, and we'll see what their starting comp is as we get into the game. All right, we're gonna stick here with the Venom here to be able to go ahead and see where we're kind of. Oh, never mind. We're going to Magneto. Maybe we'll stick with DPS Jeffy Poo to see what the other team's comp is looking like. We're looking at a Strange for their front line. Seeing DPS Jeffy Poo going ahead and taking a side angle. Seeing if they can get some beginning damage off. It's like we got an early pick for UAF in favor of that. Gonna go ahead and stall out and give us an early positional advantage. We'll see if UAF can do anything with it. Looks like another pick. All right, we're seeing a full-out brawl right now as UAF is going ahead and start claiming that point. It's like the UAF is holding them at the edge of getting in. But Augusta does get a pick on our support. We'll be down 1. We'll see if they can do anything with that. Looks like Augusta's doing a really good job of making space, but it doesn't look like they can get their positioning to get in the way that they want to. Seeing some alt drops with their gambit coming in. Seeing if they can do anything from there to take some positioning. Looks like 2 fall for UAF. See if any more fall. Augusta going ahead and investing 2 alts. Going ahead and getting that point. Start claiming it towards them. We'll see if UAF can rally back. Looks like the Star-Lord's going to go ahead and prep and ult. We're seeing it now, especially with that Gambit combo. We'll see how effective it can get. I got 1, 2. Seeing a bit of 1v1 with a couple flyers over here. See if this Iron Man can get out. But it looks like the damage has been done. UAF has been able to reclaim the point. We'll see if they can capitalize and end this round right now. Portal has gone down for Augusta, and it looks like it's just not going to be enough. Therefore, UAF takes round 1 in this control. So we saw UAF go ahead and pretty dominantly handle the situation within round 1. We'll see if Augusta can go ahead and rally back in round 2. But it looks like we're not seeing any compositional change too much within the UAF side.
Hope you brought a lot of cards, Remy. Looks like we're gonna need them.
No need to fret, mon frere. Gambit always come prepared.
Good.
From an ult standpoint, it looks like we're, from UAF, going to see not too many ults coming up right away. Within Augusta, they may have a couple ults to be able to spend early to get some early positioning. We'll see if they go ahead and look to burn those here soon.
Power means nothing without discipline.
We're going to go ahead and follow Egoist or Wolverine to see if they can go ahead and get an early kidnap. Looks like they do on Iron Man. Let's see if it converts to anything. Looks like not. Looks like UAF did get an early pick on a support and 3 more down. So it looks like that's going to be an early cap from UAF to be able to claim the lead right now.
Don't send squids to do your dirty work anymore.
They hitting real hard. This is the very spot.
Needed a little boost. Thanks.
Looks like we're looking for another kidnap. It's like Wolverine gets exposed. Let's see if they can go ahead and look for anything else. Looks like that didn't convert. But we're seeing a Star-Lord ult that didn't go ahead and get anything. But we're seeing a couple ults get invested into this fight. It's looking like Augusta's going to go ahead and reclaim, or go ahead and claim rather, as this fight goes ahead and is over in favor of Augusta. Looks like Augusta's really fearing this wolf, and rightfully so, getting a kidnap early on Rogue to be able to go ahead and get a positional advantage. But looks like a lot of ults are being invested. We're seeing a C&D ult, we're seeing Rogue ult, we're seeing all kinds invested in this fight. No deaths so far on either side. Let's see if this results into anything on either side. Gonna go ahead and switch to mag to see if we see a mag ult to go ahead and sway this fight anyway. 2 down in Augusta. We're gonna go ahead and see the end of this fight as UAF goes ahead and reclaims that point and extends their lead even farther. Seeing the Gambit ult from Augusta go ahead and get burned out, as well as the thing. Not seeing any ults from the other side from UAF. It looks like the damage has been done, so the point's going to be retaken by Augusta. As UAF comes up, they do have a couple more fights that they can go ahead and fight, but they're definitely going to have to go ahead and make this fast and get in. We're seeing this value of the Namor coming in with going ahead and detecting where UAF is going ahead and approaching. But as we say that, we're seeing Star-Lord go ahead and ult and get immense value on their back line, already swaying the fight and eliminating 4 players on Augusta's side. It's like DPS, Jeffy Poo wins that 1v1 in favor of UAF, therefore catching up to the 99% that Augusta is at. We'll see if Augusta can go ahead and do anything with their portal. Phoenix ult coming in, not really getting any too much value, but they are getting a pick on Xbox Live. We're seeing Xbox Live go ahead and switch over to Strange to go ahead and give UAF their own portal. See if we can they can go ahead and react to Augusta's portal. We're seeing some kind of stabilization from UAF's side, but we'll see if it's enough. Looks like Egoist is going to go ahead and touch, try to extend that time for UAF. We'll see if it can go ahead, and does not look like it will be enough. So round 2 will be going to Augusta. We'll be going to a round 3 on this control Krakoa. Looks like we're going for slightly different compositional build, with Egoist going ahead and changing from that Wolf to Moon Knight to be able to get a lot more AoE damage, as Augusta is going to go ahead and look to group up a little bit more. We'll see if that can go ahead and catch Augusta off guard and go ahead and add some value to the UAF side.
Battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heck of a date, mister. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it? Someone picked a cosmic level fight with the wrong lady.
We enter in, we're going to go ahead and switch to Egoist to see if they can get some early damage to go ahead and get that positioning in favor of UAF. Oh, looks like an early ult invested into thing. We'll see if that can go ahead and get any value from Augusta. Looks like none so far, but they will be able to cap the point first. Looks like a Moon Knight being invested in this fight as well. Got one, got two, in favor of numbers-wise for UAF, going ahead and wipe the rest of the team and go ahead and claim that point for this round. Texas Magic's going to go ahead and stay in the fight, but that won't do well for Augusta. Go ahead and stagger that where Augusta can go ahead and be a little bit later into this fight, and so adding value to UAF and gaining a little bit more percentage on that point. Looks like UAF is looking to play a little bit close and deep into this entrance to not give Augusta any kind of point to get in, but it looks like they're going to try to force themselves into this fight. But we'll see if they can go ahead and gain any positioning for this. They're going to invest the C&D ult, and it looks like UAF is going to go ahead and get a kill for Magneto. What a huge ult from Mario Kart World. They're going to go ahead and repel Augusta from their point of that. That will definitely stagger that with that Iron Man kill, and so give UAF a little bit more percentage on this round 3. Looks like they're going to go ahead and try to Augusta's going to go ahead and try to gain that high ground. It looks like they've already dropped, seeing that they've gotten that positioning that they're wanting, but we'll see if that is even in their favor. As this Moon Knight is gaining a lot of damage from here, we're seeing Xbox be able to just stick in there within their team and really disrupt this fight. With Magic investing this into UAF's backline, we're seeing if it's adding value or not.
By the eye of Agamotto.
A huge Strange ult, but looks like it'll get 3 in favor of Augusta, and they'll be able to go ahead and reclaim that. So we're seeing a really good situation for UAF going ahead to extending that percentage where really one fight will determine this game. The UAF really has a lot of time to go ahead and invest, get positioning however they want to. We're seeing DPS Jeffy Poo try to get a side angle to disrupt their fight and be able to gain some value for UAF from a position standpoint. They do spot him out, but it looks like at a perfect time, UAF goes ahead and collapses on this and gains at least 1 kill on their side, also 2 and 3. Looks like C&D is investing in this to go ahead and stall out, and we'll see if it's enough to go ahead and answer back into this 3-4-person side, 5-person sided attempt within UAF. With Magic being able to stall, we're looking to see if Strange can go ahead and ult. Does not look like that, and so UAF goes ahead and gains that game 1 in favor to 1-0. Okay, with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break a little bit to go ahead and let each team reset from that very close game 1 as we enter game 2, going ahead and possibly changing up the roster for either side to see if the advantage can still be gained to still be maintained from UAF or possibly evened out from Augusta. All right. As we are returning here and we're waiting for game 2 to go ahead and kick off, we're going to go ahead and send out a poll, if you don't mind weighing in. Go ahead and ask question, will UAF win game 2? What do you think? 1 second. Looks like in game 2, we might see a little bit of a roster shakeup here on UAF side. Looks like they're substituting in Emoji Shark for Killer Ether. So we'll see if this change is a good or bad thing. Looks like we're still waiting here Couple bathroom breaks, maybe some strategy debriefs on that last game. Right before we go ahead and get started with game 2. What do we think from that last game? What was our maybe some highlights from that? We saw huge ult um, within Mario Kart world going ahead and getting that huge Magneto ult, getting 2 on that. We also saw some huge plays from DPS Jeffy Poo going ahead and getting some really high value from their ults as Star-Lord to be able to go ahead and get in some single target damage that resulted in their Augusta's backline just being eviscerated. And we saw Xbox Live, as you saw with getting the MVP last game, going ahead and getting immense value right in that front and really getting in there within that. But from the other side, we saw, I didn't quite catch from a username standpoint, but Augusta's Gambit's all really coming in clutch for that team, really swaying a lot of fights when they were able to have that up, and so Augusta really being able to utilize their compositional ults pretty effectively to be able to get some footing in there. Okay, it looks like we're getting ready to start game 2. We're going and making sure each team is ready. Looks like for game 2, we're going to go ahead and starting on Convergence, where we're going to head and go into Hall of T'Challa. Looks like going to go ahead and that's going to be map 2. All right, we're going and starting map 2. We'll see here shortly what the pick and ban fate will be. All right, if you're tuning in right now, what you missed from game 1 is that UAF went up 1-0 in this series. It's a best of 5, so you only have to win 3. But right now, UAF is up 1-0 right on yellow side as Augusta is representing pink on the pink side. We're seeing an early ban. Both sides with Bloodstone and Groot. Looks like UAF's going ahead and sticking with that Groot ban just like last map, except this is coming in early. We're also saving Wolverine, same thing as what the strategy was last game. All right, we're seeing another Namor save, just like from last game from Augusta, but we're seeing a Gambit ban. Interesting. We saw Gambit on both sides. We saw both sides being pretty effective with their uses of Gambit ult, but it looks like Augusta is looking to ban that out from UAF. We're also seeing a Hela ban and a Loki save. Looks like we might have some nice low-key double ults coming in here from the UAF side. Maybe also from the Augusta side. We're coming in here for the last ban as we see Daredevil banned. Interesting. Depending on where we're landing, as UAF is hovering their selection, looks like this is going to be a completely different composition. With Moji Shark coming in, maybe this is looking like a completely different squad when it comes to UAF. All right, so we're seeing Penny, we're seeing Winter Soldier come in, or Bucky rather. We're seeing Loki, we're seeing Wolverine, we're seeing C&D, and as well as Magneto. Looks like we're seeing pretty interesting composition here for UAF as we're going ahead and getting into round 2. Seeing a pretty stagnant hold kind of composition where they're going to look for a few odd picks as we see Bucky go ahead and try to pull people into the team and get some kind of advantage from not allowing the team to really set up. Seeing on Augusta's side that they're really trying to get those picks from the Widow to be able to go ahead and snipe and get some side angles for that damage. As we're going into this first point, we're going ahead and seeing Augusta go ahead and take that height. It looks like Mag does drop though, not in their favor, as well as both tanks going down. They still do hold that height, so it is hard for UAF to go ahead and push in. So they'll be relatively safe right up there unless UAF goes ahead and surrounds them, which it looks like Mario Kart World right now is doing. As we're seeing this will go ahead and stagger Augusta out, not in their favor. It's not what you want to see right away. Looks like they're a little divided on exactly what they want to do right now as UAF is going ahead and zoning their support over to take the long way all the way around, especially with Egoist going ahead and pushing out that support. So it looks like UAF is going to hold right here, right in the front to be able to gain some kind of advantage. As Wolf looked for a pick, didn't look like they were able to get that, but doesn't mean that they can't look to get it here soon. Oh, does get the mag pull, but it doesn't look like it's going to go ahead and get anything for UAF, and actually going ahead and not be in their favor of UAF and make their mag go ahead and go down. What we're seeing is Augusta go ahead and push out, but as you saw with Augusta's C&D ult coming in, so does UAF's to go ahead and stagger this fight. Looks like the C&D is going to go down. We'll see if UAF can stagger this first touch point. It does look like they're getting a lot of value within trying to separate this team, but let's see if it'll be enough. See, Xbox Live goes ahead and ults, getting 2, but it looks like that will only be a distraction until Augusta goes ahead and cleans that up. They are still fighting for this, trying not to allow this. Does look like Mario Kart World is going to go ahead and get in this, maybe stall the point a little bit. See if UAF can rally. Does not look like so. So they're Augusta's going to go ahead and claim that cart and start pushing that forward. UAF is going to look to set up right here, right on these stairs, to be able to not allow them to push. This is a really good point, especially for the composition of UAF, to be able to go ahead and stall out this cart, to waste down that time of around 2.5 minutes that Augusta has to push to that second point. Looks like they're doing a really good job, especially as this Bucky's coming in and getting some good headshots. But right now we're just staggered. Augusta's going to go ahead and invest a couple ults into this, looking for that Bucky from that mag ult, but not going to go ahead and get it. Does get them really low, but will be able to positionally go ahead and push back UAF to gain some advantage, to be able to start pushing down that cart. It's like Bucky ult's going to go ahead and be invested, see if they can go ahead and reset. Does not look like Bucky's going to go ahead and get that. And the fight's going to go ahead and stall out as one tank at least goes on for UAF. Also, looks like this fight's not going to go in favor of UAF. And we're going to go ahead and see Augusta go ahead and push in. Gaining that checkpoint, it's going to go ahead and gain a little time for Augusta. And so we're going to be seeing for that second push, they're going to get around 3 minutes going forward. As we're seeing them go ahead and push second point, the Moon Knight comes out, separating the front line to the back line. As the side damage comes in, it doesn't look like it's too effective for UAF as Augusta goes ahead and starts pushing that in. We are seeing a couple ults, and so we'll see if UAF goes ahead and invests them into this fight. And they might want to here soon. We're seeing the Invis ult come in to go ahead, but also counter, we're seeing the C&D ult come in as well. It's like UAF's not going to really able to do too much right now. Looking to go ahead and get out of that fight fast so that way they can go ahead and go in for their second fight for this push. We're seeing Augusta go ahead and try to push in really hard to be able to go ahead and try to stall at this point. It looks like it's going to be somewhat successful with a lot of ults being burned to go ahead and get into this fight to stall it. And we're seeing that somewhat successful from UAF to be able to go ahead and at least get in, get some footing to be able to stall the cart. We're seeing Magic try to go into their back line as well as their front line, just trying to sit on that cart. Seeing that Moon Knight ult from Augusta go ahead and push in to be able to get some spacing, maybe C9 that cart, but it doesn't look like it's going to be successful. We're seeing UAF rally back to be able to really hold that cart right at that point and push it back just a little bit. Looks like the Psylocke ult from UAF is going to go out in the back line. Doesn't look like it was that successful, but it did give them a little bit of spacing. But as I say that, Egoist goes ahead and gets a pick early to be able to really stagger that out. Augusta's going to go ahead and invest a couple ults into that C&D and Magneto, but it looks like UAF is going to answer back with an Invisible Woman ult. Looks like that was successful enough to go ahead and stagger out that fight. And so we're seeing UAF go ahead and go ahead and count in their ults. And we're going to see that Moon Knight ult invested to go ahead and waste down that over overtime to be able to get them some positioning. As I say that, we're looking at Augusta really be able to rally back early on to be able to push in this cart a little bit more. We'll see if UAF can really answer back, and it does not look like that. So with this round going in, we're seeing them to be able to push it all the way to 3 points with no time remaining. So we'll see if UAF can rally back, getting 3 points for themselves on their push and maybe a little bit better time. Wow. As we go through this round one, we really saw UAF not really able to answer Augusta in their push. We saw a couple different holds here and there, but pretty much the whole time Augusta be able to really push the cart in all the way. We'll see if UAF can do that on the same side on offense, see if they can answer back and get that momentum swinging back in their favor. So it looks like from UAF, we're going to go ahead and go for a pretty side damage oriented composition where we have our main tank Emma Frost right in the front line, being an annoyance right there, and then diving in with a Black Panther and Venom, really annoying that, giving multiple distractions so that way Augusta can't really focus on anything too much. But we'll see how successful those dives are as this game starts. Looks like UAF is going to go ahead and go from the side, see if they can go ahead and get a good angle. But also, as Augusta was set up there, being able to see about getting a better position. With Black Panther going down, it does not look like UAF's going to go ahead and do anything right now. They're going to go ahead and wait out the Black Panther coming back. Oh, it's the switch to Spider-Man. Instead, go ahead and wait until Egos is ready for this, and then see about gaining anything. As they go in, they're going ahead and focusing their back line. Egos goes down really early. That Namor is just so hard to dive because of those squids and being set up like that and giving them time to be able to really be ready for that dive. We're seeing UAF try to fall back, really bounce back from that fight, wait out, wait for Egoist, and see if they can recover and then go plan out another strategic attack here shortly. As we're seeing the second time they're trying to dive, looks like this is a lot more successful, getting really good damage right off the back line, but Augusta's going ahead and be able to answer back right away, being able to get some fight. We're seeing a pretty even fight with a 4-4 on both sides. And we're seeing Mario Kart be able to be super slippery and just really distracting for that team. But as Emma Frost grabs them, we'll see if it can do anything. The portal's going to go ahead and come in from Augusta to be able to rally back to see if they can go ahead and answer. But we're also seeing both C and D ults come in. So we'll see which team fight is really going into whose favor. So it looks like Augusta was really able to bounce back, especially from that strange portal, to be able to really gain more footholding, especially on the height, being able to gain that position, looking down, really uncontested from UAF.
Back in the hunt.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Looks like Strange and Magic are going to look to fully commit to backline of UAF as UAF does the exact same thing with Spidey and Venom, being able to be a whole lot more effective than Augusta, and therefore being able to get at least quite a few points in for claiming this for UAF. Looks like Spidey's going to try to get a cheeky pick, and does! And being able to stagger out this to be able to fully claim that point, start pushing in that cart, and deterring Augusta to be able to really set up and get ready for this next fight as they're pushing it in. Just like from when UAF was on round 1 or defense side on this map, we saw that they were really setting up on the stairs, and it doesn't look like it's too different in comparison to what Augusta wants to do. As Venom and Spidey goes ahead and looks to go into their back line, it looks like Namor is going to go ahead and answer and really deter UAF from gaining any more positioning for this fight. But as I say that, we're looking at UAF trying to push in, but it doesn't look like it's going to be successful. So as we're seeing this with the Venom and Spidey being fully committed into this, we're looking at a composition change. As we're seeing that, we're seeing Mario Kart switch from Venom actually into Magneto, as well as Ego is switching from Spidey to Wolverine, seeing about a very different composition than a full dive. As we're saying this, we're seeing Star-Lord ult go ahead and get invested, as well as a Fox ult being invested, and at least giving positionally UAF a lot of space versus what they had. We're seeing magic in the backline of UAF and seeing if UAF can really answer and really get the magic annoyingly off of their backline. Looks like Emma Frost is going to go ahead and push off the remaining members of UAF on that cart, and they're going to look to go ahead and reset and go in for either their last attack or second to last attack.
I'm opening a portal.
Looks like we're going to go ahead and just straight portal in, giving UAF possibly a little bit more time to be able to set up in case this fight does not go well, then seeing if they can go ahead and get more time to be able to go ahead and get that. As we say that, DPS Jeffy Poo as Namor on this upside is able to really go ahead and get immense value, but also gets mag ulted right in the face. But with that, both Xbox Live and Wolverine in the front line are able to just systematically completely take out Augusta's front line and be able to start pushing in this cart. Looks like magic from Augusta is going to go ahead and try to stall this out unsuccessfully. And it's going to allow UAF to go ahead and push this through into point 2.
That is much better. Today, Namor stands with Wakanda. I will not fail them.
As we push around this corner, you would have expected Augusta to go ahead and hold that corner, but as they had go ahead and staggered their positioning within the end of the point 2 fight, they had not really had the positioning that you should have within that point to be able to really contest that. And so as we're seeing this, UAF's just really able to push in really fast and be able to take this fight in their favor. We're seeing 3 ults invested on UAF, and we'll see if that was a wise decision as we're pushing this in with 30 seconds remaining to be able to fully cap these 3 points. So we're seeing the Invisible Women ult go ahead and be invested from Augusta, being able to stall out that cart as it hits that 3rd point, as well as Namor. And it doesn't look like it's too successful on the side of Augusta, but it is successful on the side of UAF as they are able to go ahead and push that in. Augusta is not able to stagger the point successfully, and UAF just blew straight through. With that, it's going to go ahead and we're going to go into overtime. With both teams not having additional time, it's going to reset to 1 and see which team can get farther within this overtime. So we're going to go ahead and see Augusta go ahead and be on attack first. See how far they can push when it comes to claiming that first point, and see if UAF can really go ahead and defend in their favor, be able to take this map too.
I'm counting on you, friends.
I want to look at the stats real quick. Looking at this, we're seeing just how impactful certain people have been, especially with Chezica, just being able to get so much healing and so much value straight in here, as well as getting a good amount of damage straight in. We're seeing some pretty good spread of final attacks from the people that are our DPSs on UAF, from DPS Jeffy Poo as well as Egoist, being able to really earn their spot as damage dealers within UAF.
I'm opening a portal.
Looks like Augusta's not really going to mess around, and they might go ahead and look to portal straight in. But it looks like for some reason that's going to come in a little bit later than thought. They're going to have a kind of a split method where 3 of them are going to focus the front line, distract, as well as the back line go in. But it doesn't look like that's been too successful, as this Thor's just been able to be really annoying for Augusta and be able to deal with their front line, as the rest of the team for UAF has really been able to answer back on the back line and push them back. Not going in the favor of Augusta, and with that, that will probably be their overtime completely spent as we go ahead and situate for UAF's overtime. Looks like Augusta is going to not be able to touch.
Current score is 3-2-3. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
It's a really good hold from UAF, as we saw,
Need a top-notch team to win this one.
with Egoist just in the front line, really being able to hold 3 of them. Doesn't look like it was super coordinated in terms of the timing. If Augusta had a little bit better timing from that portal and being able to come in right as those 3 members from Augusta was coming around that corner, they would have probably been able to get a lot better positioning, a lot better fighting power, but obviously that is their overtime spent. So we'll see if UAF can go ahead and answer in favor of them and really gain that and earn map 2.
Before you attack, get ready.
Your idealism refreshes a battered old soul.
You can't be that old.
Astral projection makes me feel old.
The battle starts in 5, 4.
So as we start this round, we're going to go ahead and follow some of the supports in.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Point me towards
Looks
the
like
dunes.
UAF's going to do
Some
much of the
extra
same thing.
scars.
Does not mess around. Try to get that early teleport straight in and see if they can get any positioning. Looks like they're going to take that height right behind the point to be able to catch Augusta off guard. As we see that, we're seeing Namor go ahead and set up a lot of their squids and see about deterring UAF from going in. As they wait out the squids and gain a lot more positioning, we're seeing UAF really be able to find their ground and be able to slowly get into this. As we're seeing that, they go ahead and eliminate 2-3 on UAF side and be able to capture that first point. Therefore, gaining that map and sending the series to 2-0 in favor of UAF. As we end map 2, I just want to take a second and really delve into the statistics of what map 2 really looked like. As we're looking at that, we're seeing just the immense value that the support line from UAF is really being able to bring into this, as Moji Shark flexing with Mario Kart from a tank to support role and being able to switch that, gaining immense value for that flexibility based on the various characters of Marvel Rivals, as well as Chezuka being able to really stay in as that main support, and seeing where that value is going to come from is getting 50k healing within that, as well as Xbox Live in the inverse of being that front line rather than that supportive back line as Chezuka was. Xbox Live really being able to block a ton of damage but also deal a ton of damage and really be annoying for Augusta to really not be able to get in a lot of times, but also being able to just set the pacing for UAF. As I say that, though, we're seeing a lot of final hits coming in from DPS Jeffy Poo, as well as the Egoist, really being able to earn their spot as DPS and really splitting up that damage to pretty close, well, the same place both ways. In the same way for Augusta, we're seeing some really good block damage from their Strange player, but just not quite there from their tank. But we're seeing really good value when it comes to their backline, really being able to be in there for long periods of time. Just not enough to really be able to answer back entirely with what UAF was being able to dish out. As we're getting ready for map 3 and potentially the close of what UAF will be a blowout of 3-0, we'll see if Augusta can go ahead and answer back, gain some kind of momentum in this third map. Looks like our third map is going to go ahead and be Yigsgard. On Convoy. So we're just waiting out this momentary break between map 2 and map 3, seeing if UAF can close out this series. Damage to pretty close, well, the same place. same way for Augusta, we're seeing some really good block damage from their strange player, but just not quite there from their tank. But we're seeing really. Alrighty, we're back to map 3. As we're going ahead and getting into pick and ban. Seeing that Bloodstone still banned out from Augusta. See what UAF is looking to do as they defend first. Then Yigsguard on Convoy as Augusta is going to be attacking first. So we're seeing a Phoenix ban. See what UAF is going to go ahead and save. Alright, we're seeing that classic mag being saved, and no doubt it's because Mario Kart being a staple in UAF. Looks like we're still seeing that Gambit ban from Augusta, but we're also seeing them to be able to priority save that Hella. So as UAF previous rounds have been looking to ban that, Augusta has been able to sneak that through and save that. We'll see if that is in their advantage and in their favor. As UAF is hovering, we are seeing a very different composition with a couple flyers coming in here with possibly Ethernet, Killer Ethernet, and DPS Jeffy Poop playing that Ultron and Storm. Something I did forget to note, when it comes to looking at this map 3, we did see a substitution come in with Killer Ethernet going ahead and subbing in for Egoist.
You'll need a top-notch team to
So
win
as we're
this one.
waiting to be able to go into this map 3 and start this, do want to remind you of kind of where we're sitting within the situation, that within this momentum of this series, UAF is really riding this through 2-0 within this top 16 nationals match for Division 4 in the National Esports Collegiate Conference.
Right click.
Alright, it does look like UAF is going to go for this double flyer combo
Get ready.
of Ultron and Storm. Also, with Moji Shark, you would expect a support like Jeff to come out, and so we'll see just how effective Moji Shark is with this Jeff, especially with a name like that.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It looks like UF is looking to go ahead and break down this bridge to be able to give Storm a little bit better of an area to be able to shoot on as they're holding this front area. Augusta is able to pretty early push on into this corridor, but this is a really hard first area to be able to immediately push in. So really nice to see Augusta be able to be really aggressive and push straight in there. But it doesn't look like it's without some risks, as Xbox is able to go ahead and utilize that positioning and really punish Augusta early on, deterring them from being able to come in. But as they look to rally back, especially as their Hawkeye is able to get some early damage from a little bit of a ways away. We're seeing one support go down for UAF. And so they're going to go ahead and look to back off a little bit from this fight. As well as really early on, Augusta going to go ahead and look to ult, but not effective at all. And we're going to go ahead and see UAF also go ahead and look to ult with their Jeff. Go ahead and get that Hella and be able to take that out. Be a real nuisance on this back line. We're seeing Moji Shark just be able to really get in, be able to be a nuisance, stop that first capture of that point, and be annoying enough to be able to hold that so that way UAF can really rally back as both ults for Storm and Luna be able to come out. We're just seeing the capability of UAF being able to really stagger out this point. I'm gonna go ahead and watch Xbox Live to see if we're gonna go ahead and get a huge Strange ult, as it looks like they're positioning right on this corner. We're gonna go ahead and deal with this Deadpool, see if anything can happen with that. As UAF's Moji Shark goes down, and they're able to answer back and look for that Xbox Live ult, but will get eaten, but saved by Mario Kart World being able to ult from Magneto, be able to answer back, but it looks like it won't exactly be enough as Augusta is able to really team wipe that. We'll see if Moji Shark can go ahead and break some ankles and stall for UAF. Does not look like that, so Augusta will go ahead and claim that first point and be able to push this cart a little bit further with 3 minutes still on the board. Looks like we're going to go ahead and have a change for Xbox Live from that Strange, but Winsley, they're able to go ahead and spot that magic coming in from that back line and be able to warn their team and react to that. As we're seeing a Deadpool picture coming in, we're going to go ahead and look at Jeff as they have that Invisible Woman really being able to go ahead and eat. But it doesn't look like they're able to find that Invisible Woman, being a little bit elusive. Looks like UF's going to go ahead and look to really back off. But as I say that, the Storm ult comes in as well as Killer Ethernet backing it up with this Ultron ult. But it doesn't look like it was super effective. But they are able to get one pick from that magic really being a nuisance on their backline. Therefore giving UAF really this positioning to be able to fully commit to this fight. As we're seeing that, Augusta is going ahead and trying to push in a little too aggressively, therefore giving UAF the opportunity to go ahead and push them back, therefore gaining those kills on their side. Able to push them back all the way to point 1, so we'll see if Augusta is able to reclaim their spacing and position to be able to answer back for UAF. So as we're waiting for this next fight to coincide, we're seeing 2 ults for UAF on their side. Be able to be ready to be able to answer anything, especially from this Luna Snow ult.
What are you aiming at?
That we're gonna go see Invisible Woman from Augusta ult come out, as well as their Jeff, and then Lunasto being able to answer back with their ult, therefore ticking down the clock to around 20 seconds. So as we're seeing this possibly the last fight from UAF, seeing if Augusta can really get a touch in to stagger out this, and it does not look like that.
Is 0-1. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on. You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Sorry about not being able to see the stream. Didn't realize that I did change the scene, so I apologize for that. With us getting into round 2 or attack for UAF, we're seeing them need to be able to take 2 points, well 1 point, and be able to push the cart farther than at Augusta and be able to really close out this series.
I will do my best to keep my weather powers from impacting my allies.
Thanks, Stormy. Because the only place I want to make it rain is in the club.
Then again, I may save a bolt of lightning just for you.
The battle starts in 5, 4.
So it looks like we're going to go ahead and with a little bit of a different strategy, go ahead and see if we can get some AoE damage from Moon Knight from Killer Ethernet. It looks like they find that magic really early to be able to give them a man position lead. And UAF therefore is able to really push in this cart early and give them slight advantage to be able to start pushing this in to claim that first point a lot faster than what we saw from Augusta. Augusta is able to rally back, especially with their Magneto going ahead and getting that early pick. Second pick, and they're going to go ahead and push back and rally even from that early pick that UAF was able to get from that magic.
Enemy in front of us.
Time to make them pay.
So it looks like UAF is going to go ahead and start trying to push this a little bit in. But Augusta is going to go ahead and answer from their Moon Knight, an ult that was very unsuccessful, but did give them the positioning that they may have been losing as UAF looked to push through this. Looks like this Magneto from Augusta's side is just being so effective for their team, really getting those early kills that is needed to be able to stall out this fight. With that, we're seeing our third fight really go into around 2 minutes, but we're seeing some change for composition as Xbox Live goes ahead and changes to Thing. So we'll see if that was the right move. Looks like Moon Knight for UAF is going to look to ult. It looks like with combination of Storm, super successful in being able to really push off this. Moon Knight being able to really try to see if they're going to go ahead and get picked. They do, with that magic coming in the back line to be able to stall in that fight, and so we'll see if it's effective enough to really be able to do anything.
Much better.
Careful. Stranger's at it again.
As that portal comes from Augusta being able to really try to rally back, that magic is still in the back line, really annoying UAF. And eventually they're going to really need to be able to answer back on that or be able to deal with it somehow. Looks like Moji Shark will have to just handle that themselves as they just go ahead and route back, but they're going to go ahead and get at least one person with that Strange being able to be eaten by Emoji Shark, but instantly spit out. As we're seeing multiple people fall each side, we're seeing some kind of stagnation right here on the front stairs, but we definitely need to see as the time ticks down, UAF really be able to answer and get into this cart, and they need to be able to touch. It looks like they will, especially with Xbox Live switching to Strange, getting that Strange ult, and being able to go ahead and answer in some way.
By the eye of Agamotto!
As Mario Kart switches Venom to try to stall this out, does not look like UAF will be able to go ahead and capture that point one. Therefore, sending the series to 2-1, still in UAF's favor.
Victory!
So as we can see, the enemy Magneto was really effective in keeping UAF being able to even push in onto this point and really claim space to be able to get to comfort zone that they ideally would, alongside their magic really being annoying in the back line and really stunting UAF to be able to get any kind of positioning that they would have wanted. And that's really where breaking down this game, really where it went wrong within this round two, is just really not respecting or dealing with those with magic in the back line as well as mag really being in that front line and knowing how to deal with that. as we're kicking off map 4, UAF is going to play on Hell's Heaven. Domination, attack side first. Or, not attack side, both attacking because of domination. Seeing the pick and ban phase. The tried and true from Augusta. Bloodstone getting banned, as well as UAF, the reliable Groot coming in, getting that ban. As we're seeing this, we're seeing unexpected invis save. I don't think UAF would look to ban that invis. Looks like that might be a comfort pick from Augusta, really saving in that support that they wanted. But also coming in with that tried and true, also Gambit ban. As we're seeing with UAF, still banning that Groot and Namor. Did not like that first game, I believe. Saving Deadpool. Seeing a Phoenix save. Saw that earlier with UAF banning Phoenix. We'll see if that's really in favor for Augusta. And we're seeing that respect ban from Star-Lord, from Augusta banning Star-Lord, especially as DPS Jeffy Poo is back with that lineup of Egoist and DPS Jeffy Poo. We're looking at maybe a little bit different of a composition, being a little bit more aggressive in terms of damage that they can really output. With Xbox Live transitioning to a more DPS role, being able to get in as Blade, diving in same time as DPS Jeffy Poo, as Psylocke, being able to really distract that, and then still having a really strong front line when it comes to Mario Kart World as well as Egoist. We'll just see how that works out with UAF support line going ahead and trying to have their head on a swivel and really see everywhere and try to heal everyone.
Those would be quite useful against some of the demons in my homeland. Let's hope they're just as useful here.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
We are warriors, no matter what worlds we come from. Do not lose sight of that.
Looks like DPS and Mario Kart is going to go ahead and go to the side area, be able to claim that height.
No worries, I've got your back.
Xbox Live is able to get a really early pick, therefore gain some, but Augusta is able to really answer back as Mario Kart dives in. Doesn't really have that support from DPS Jeffy Poo, therefore not really able to get too much impact into this dive right here. We'll see if they can go ahead and reroute, see about getting back in, seeing if they can get anything out of this. Gonna go ahead and dive on this Invisible Woman. It does not look like they'll be able to get too much impact on this, as Augusta goes ahead and answers back, but it's a 1-for-1 trade in regards to that. As we switch over to the support, Spirit Roker, we're gonna go ahead and see them play Invisible Woman, being able to really lay in that damage as well as heal. As we're setting up with UAF being able to claim this first point, start ticking down that percentage in their favor to around 50% now. We're going to see a lot of ults start coming up, but we'll see just how effective each team can utilize their ult. We are seeing a change with Augusta go ahead and go into Iron Man. They do burn that support ult of Invisible Woman, and they get one for it. And they're looking to push forward. Seeing a mag ult come in. Invisible Woman trying to hide to make sure that their ult does not go down for their team, therefore being able to stagger that out. And we're seeing Venom go ahead and ult in and really be annoying on that backline. Just not as effective as you would want. We are seeing Egoist being able to really be annoying and hold more of the percentage than you'd be surprised about with Augusta and stagger out enough where UAF is able to get in, get a couple kills, and really bring it back in their favor. Augusta really should look to get on point, as Egoist is really just putting so much damage into their backline, therefore not really being able to have their team join in and giving round 1 to UAF.
The hunt is on.
With that, we are seeing UAF 2-1 best of 5 series. Just need to close out this map. They are 2-1-0 in this map, and so we'll just see if they can close it out in their favor with starting round 2.
Sweet, sweet alternate costume.
Looks like they're going to keep much of the same composition as they had previously. We'll see if that's the right move heading into round 2.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Let's make this quick. Got that blast on. Snack time already.
So we're going to follow DPS Jeffy Boo to see if they can go ahead and get a really good backline ult here early on, especially with this Venom dive. Looks like they're going to, Augusta's going to go have to burn quite their support ult. Go ahead and give them the positioning that they needed to be able to claim this point early on. As we're heading into this reset, what we're going to follow is this support line and see
Back in the game.
what UAF can do with an early pick from DPS Jeffy Poo on that Moon Knight to be able to really be able to get this backline in for UAF as they just straight clean up Augusta, therefore reclaiming that point and probably evening out the percentage to 25-25 here soon.
Damage sustained. Need assistance.
As we see this, UAF is really looking to push the envelope and not give an inch to Augusta. We are seeing the map shift slightly, which does catch UAF out, especially with this Emma ulting in to gain them a man advantage in their favor. As we're seeing that, we're seeing Venom ult come in, both Invis ults coming in, and then be able to see about staggering this fight a little bit for Xbox Live to come back in as Blade, be able to come back for their DPS. We're seeing an even trade on both sides, but it looks like UAF is going to come out ahead on this fight as we end it with Phoenix dying on Augusta's side. We're seeing a really good position that UAF is going to be in, where Augusta might look to switch off their tank, possibly switch to a Strange and just portal in. As I say that, they're fully committing to this front. getting some spacing for that Moon Knight to be able to get them in a position where they can go ahead and get some positioning and perching power. And as these supports patty cake in the back, we're seeing UAF to be able to lose one, but stabilize just a little bit for this fight. And Augusta not really being able to answer back when in stabilizing. We'll see if a portal comes in, but that is just too late. With that, we're seeing UAF be able to close out this series 3-1, moving them from Sweet 16 in Nationals to top 8 within Nationals. With that, GGs go out in chat for both teams as UAF ends the victors moving on to the next round within Nationals. Thank you all for tuning in, being able to support our UAF team within our Marvel Rivals team, and really being able to see just how explosive but also well-performing our team can be. Catch you next time. We are seeing the map shift slightly, which does catch UAF out, especially with this Emma ulting in to gain them a man advantage for in their favor. As we're seeing that, we're seeing Venom ult come in, both Invis ults coming in, and then be able to see about staggering this fight a little bit for Xbox Live to come back in as Blade, be able to come back for their DPS. We're seeing an even trade on both sides, but it looks like UAF is going to come out ahead on this fight as we end it with Phoenix dying on Augusta's side. We're seeing a really good position that UAF is going to be in, where Augusta might look to switch off their tank, possibly switch to a Strange and just portal in. As I say that, they're fully committing to this front, getting some spacing for that Moon Knight to be able to get them in a position where they can go ahead and get some positioning and perching power. And as these supports patty cake in the back, we're seeing UAF to be able to lose one, but stabilize just a little bit for this fight. And Augusta not really being able to answer back when in stabilizing. We'll see if a portal comes in, but that is just too late. With that, we're seeing UAF be able to close out this series 3-1, moving them from Sweet 16 in Nationals to top 8 within Nationals.